Hello, Owl fans. I'm Beccah Hendrickson here alongside Simone Cuccurullo for the Sports Desk at this game today, Temple versus Fordham. Joining us today is Chase Sr.
How you doing? Thanks for having me.
Let's talk strategy first of all for this Temple versus Fordham game. Jim Cooper is starting at kicking. Simone, what do you think about this?
You know, I think he had a rough week last week. He is a freshman. He does have those nerves still, but I think today he is expected to make all of his kicks and extra points, and I think that we will see an improvement from him after practicing this week. Still could be a little shaky, but we'll just have to find out.
Chase?
Jim Cooper Jr., I mean, he had a tough week one. He missed 2 field goals and an extra point in a hostile environment at Notre Dame, and then last week comes back home and misses an extra point. He's a true freshman. He was an All-American last year, so we know what he can do. I think he's just had a little bit of the first-year jitters, if you want to call it. He's got the talent. He's got a good leg. In training camp, he was knocking down field goals from 45 and 50 yards, so the talent is there, but the mental aspect has to take another step.
Kind of adding to the jitters of today, Connor Riley got hurt last week against Houston, so he suited up for today, but he will not be starting. Juice Granger is supposed to start.
Yeah, we know what we're going to get with Juice Granger. He brings a little bit more mobility to the quarterback position. Played a couple of games last year when he relieved Chris Coyer at the starting quarterback spot. He's got a good arm. He came in last week actually for one play and threw a pretty nice deep ball about 40 yards downfield, overthrew Jalen Fitzpatrick. But he has some experience. We know what we're going to get. He is a senior, so he knows how to run this offense. Him and Connor Riley were going neck and neck all throughout training camp for the starting quarterback position. So he knows what he has to do. The the coaches really like him, and they have a lot of confidence in him. Otherwise, they wouldn't be giving him the start today.
Simone, anything to add about Juice starting?
Honestly, Beccah, I'm excited to see Juice play. I think he's ready to come out there. I think he's ready to show this team what he can do, and we know what he can do. And I think that him going neck and neck with Connor all the offseason is really just, you know, for lack of a better word, juiced him up and made him ready to come out here today and show everyone what he's capable of.
And finally, Fordham is right now 2-0 and Temple is 0-2, but keep in mind that Fordham is coming from a Division I AA Patriot League, whereas Temple had a very rough start to the season. First they take on BCS runner-up Notre Dame, and then they come around, they take on a very strong Houston offense. How do you see this game going?
This should be a cupcake game for Temple. They should come out here and they should dominate from the start. And if they're not able to set the rhythm and set the pace of this game, it's going to be pretty concerning. Like you said, Fordham is a Division I AA team, and they don't really face the opponents that Temple has faced throughout the first 2 games of the season and will continue to face throughout the rest of the season. So it's going to be really important for Temple to come out of the gate, set the pace, set the rhythm, get some momentum, and Temple really has to find a form of consistency on offense. And there's not a perfect situation to do it than against a team that you should beat up on from the start. So, and also another thing to keep an eye on is how does the defense respond after last week's valiant effort? Houston, a team that put up 62 points on the board in week 1, came out and had 8 red zone opportunities against Temple, and they only converted 1 touchdown, that being with Ryan Jackson's touchdown run with a little over a minute to go. So how does the defense come back after just a really eye-opening effort against Houston? That defense, Temple's defense, should really come out, pop Fordham in the mouth, and set the rhythm, set the tone.
Now, one of those big Fordham wins was against Villanova. Temple hasn't played Villanova this year, but last year in the Mayor's Cup, the Owls ran up 50-some points against the Villanova team. What do you think this says about Temple?
You know, I think Temple and Villanova, they have been having this kind of, not rivalry, but, you know, back and forth. You never know what you're going to expect, and I think that this week is really a turning point for the Owls, and if the Owls are going to make their comeback and say, you know, we are Philadelphia's team, we are Philadelphia's football team, I think it needs to be done today. And I think that if they go out there and they don't make mistakes on defense and they run a strong offense, I think that we're going to be okay.
All right, well, that's all for now from the Sports Desk. You can follow us live throughout the game on Twitter and Instagram at @TU_SportsDesk.